Hi, I'm Micah from Planner Federal Retirement, and this is the FERS Federal Fact Check. Today we have a question from John about his TSP account. And John says, I've been using the regular TSP and have 5+ years before retirement. Should I have some allocated into a Roth? John, that is an excellent question. Now, I'm a big fan of Roth savings overall, but we gotta be careful in how we do it. So first, let's start off with some definitions, right? When you say the regular TSP, probably referring to the traditional or pre-tax portion of the TSP. This is money that you put into the TSP, and when you put in 10 grand, 15 grand, $18,000, $24,000, whatever that dollar amount is, you get an immediate tax deduction on that, and you don't have to pay taxes on that income. Your agency match, if you're under the FERS retirement system, also goes inside of there. So that 5% agency match, which is you could be getting, goes into that pre-tax portion. Now that pre-tax portion is really nice, right? Who doesn't like a tax deduction, right? So that's really nice. It helps our money grow, but there's a cost to that. That cost of putting money in that pre-tax is when we go to pull money out, we have to pay taxes on that money. Then there's that different vehicle, that Roth vehicle, which is there. And a Roth vehicle is really nice. You can put money in a Roth IRA, in the Roth TSP. Now, when you put that money in, you get no tax deduction for it. So again, you can put in, contribution-wise, the max you can put in the TSP is the same for traditional and Roth, but you can't combine them. So you have one overall contribution limit to put in, and you can allocate how much to put into each. So you can put all of your contributions into that Roth portion. Now, your match is always going to be going into that pre-tax portion that you get, but that your contribution, you could put 100% into the Roth if you wanted to. Now, the downside of this is non-tax deductible. So if we put $24,000 our contribution into a Roth, assuming we're over 50, right? So we can put the catch-up in there. That means that we don't get that $24,000 tax deduction on our tax return. So we got to look at this because that could be a sizable number. Now the benefit of this though is that anything that Roth grows to over time is tax-free. This is the great benefit. Now, if you've gone through our programs and you've seen, we talk a lot about tax buckets and tax diversification. And this is what you need to be focused on when you're looking at a Roth, is it's not just the traditional or the Roth, but it's the combination of the two. Everyone's different, right? Everyone's an individual, so this question is different, but man, I really like those tax-free buckets. I like those Roth IRAs and potentially what they can grow to over time. Even if you're within a few years of retirement, you could still make an argument that says you should put some money in a Roth IRA because it's going to grow for the long term. So I would look at your taxes, I would look at taxes in retirement, and I would say, hey, what makes the most sense? Do I want some tax-free income? And if you do, the Roth is a great place for that in order to put money. Now, we can discuss about a Roth TSP or a Roth IRA. Those are two different vehicles, but the Roth is the main component that I'm going for here, and the Roth is what allows you to put in after-tax money and that money to grow tax-free and be able to take it out in the future. Now, a couple caveats with the Roth that's going to be out there. It's a little bit different than our TSP. One of the things than our traditional TSP, one of the things with the Roth TSP, Roth money has to be taken out after 5 years. So in his question, he said, I have 5+ years. You got to leave money in there for 5 years in that Roth section and be older than 59.5 when you take money out of your Roth TSP. Now, we talked about in other videos that says, hey, you can take money out at 55, at 56 from your TSP and have no penalty. Yes, but that's our pre-tax portion. In the Roth portion, you gotta let that money sit for 5 years and 59.5 before you take money out. Otherwise, that Roth penalty, any growth that you have, is subject to taxes and a 10% premature distribution penalty. So you got to be careful in how you're pulling that money out. So that Roth is really geared for that long term, that savings over time, but I'm a big fan. I like them. It's a really good place to look at putting money. So if you have questions, you have concerns about your retirement, scroll down, put a comment below, submit the question. So hopefully next time we can look at your question and have it be answered in the FERS Federal Fact Check. Until then, happy planning.